that's how far I've gotten with that. But it is currently Friday, February 21st at 5:31 p.m. and I'd like to welcome you to the COTC Entertainment YouTube channel. Anyways, let's get into it. So, okay, yeah. So, you may notice that I have not made a video in about a month and a half. Well, actually, you probably haven't noticed that. But even still, I haven't really made a video in a month and a half because I've kind of been mad busy lately. But I do have updates on you with my coding career and my journey to be a full stack developer. Due to a bunch of random circumstances, in January I got invited to a coding boot camp out in New Jersey. So I do that Mondays and Thursdays now after I route from work. And yeah, I have a test on Monday for my to be certified in databases. So wish me luck on that. But anyways, I can get into more of that in the detail on another video. But I got something special for y'all this week. Well, not too special. Kind of special. Alright, so soon you'll see another me appear up here.
Alright, what's up? So, yeah, completely disregard the other version of me down, I think,
here,
down
here. Either or.
This way.
You'll see a version of me appear.
Either or, anyways. Completely disregard the other version of me and direct your attention over here. So, this week I have a coding tutorial planned out for you guys. Don't worry about the syntax or whatever. I'm kind of just teaching you the coding theory behind it all and everything. So, yeah, let's get into it. Cool. So, here we are. So, pretty much the screen I have on the left is a text editor. It's pretty much where you type your code. And on the right, I have the console, which for JavaScript specifically, you can kind of see all the errors and outputs of things that you, or programs and code that you write, kind of. But you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So to start off, programming, say I wanted to make an application that could print a number that goes from 1 to 100, right? So to print something to the console, you kind of just have to do console.log and it logs it. So when you refresh the page, there's 1, right? So what if I wanted a application that counts from 1 to 100? So in theory, I 100% could type out console.log 100 times and that would get the job done. But I could also copy and paste it a couple times and just change a letter, and that still technically would get the job done. But when it comes to programming, my boy Matt actually taught me this. It's an acronym called DRY, spells out dry. Pretty much it stands for do not repeat yourself. So if you're ever doing something programming wise and you think there's an easier way to do it, generally speaking, there more than likely is. So for this example, instead of printing this out like 100 times, we would want to implement something called a loop. So pretty much what a loop does, it repeats a piece of code multiple times until you reach the desired output. So for this loop, which is a for loop, I'm going to teach you, by the way, like I said before, don't worry about the syntax. That's not too important right now. I'm just kind of teach you about the theory. So for let is just a keyword that you can use to set a variable. I is our variable. So let I equal 1 because we want our loop to start at 1. And then we want this to loop to 100. So pretty much the statement to do that is while I is less than or equal to 100, increment up by 1. And the plus pretty much just means add 1 to your current value. So in this example, when we console.log I to the console, we'll get the desired output of what we want, and it'll run this piece of code 100 times. So here you see it over here. It goes from 1 to 100, and the logic behind it is, so while 1 is less than 100, increment up. So the code's at 1 right now, so it logs 1. This gets checked to this. So the value I gets checked to this parameter right here. So I is still less than or equal to 100, so add 1 to it. So the next time it runs, it's 2. Then the next time it runs, it's 3, and so on. But with a loop, we can do so much more than just like log a simple phrase to the console. We can also add different things to it, like an if-then or if-else statement. An if-else statement is it's not really like self-explanatory. I mean, I guess kind of think of it like your day-to-day decisions, right? So when you wake up, if you wake up on time, you get breakfast, else you don't get breakfast because you don't have enough time. So it's kind of like everyday decisions, or like if you go to a bar and you have pool game, possibly get a girl, else you don't. But so for this example, I'll show you how to set that up. So if, let's say we want to see next to each number that's divisible by 3, we want to know if it's divisible by 3. So if I, our variable, is divisible by 3 in the percentage operator, it kind of checks the value of the percentage operator after this. It's equal to whatever the remainder is. So if there's a remainder of 0, that means the number can be evenly divided by 3. So if I divided by 3 has a remainder of 0, we want to console.log. Where are we at? Oh, right. I is divisible by 3. But if we leave it how it is right here, it'll just like log everything that is divisible by 3. So that's why we have the else. So whatever else isn't divisible by 3, we can console.log right here. And if we run our code, pretty much it goes 1, 2, 3 is divisible by 3, 6, 9, 12. All right, so I'll modify this code because I want to show you guys a couple more examples, but I don't want to waste your time by typing it all out. So yeah. All right, cool. So this code right here, if I did this right, which I presume I did, this gives us all the results that we're looking for. So it has the variable, right there, right here, and right here. So it has the variable, and this code's pretty much doing what we're telling it. If there's a number, it's divisible by 3, the code tells us. If the number is divisible by 5, the code tells us right here. But one thing that you may or may not have picked up on is take a look at 15. 15 is both divisible by 5 and it's both divisible by 3. So if we want our code to represent that, we'd have to modify it one more time to show that the code is both divisible by 5 and 3. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll pretty much show you like how that would look after this. All right, cool. So pretty much now, if you look at the code, now, if you look at the code, it should be giving us what we want. So like now 3 divisible by 3, 5 divisible by 5. But now if you look at 15, it says 15 is divisible by both 3 and 5. Now, if we take a look at the code over here, and let me just like read this back to you in a way so you know what's going on. So I already went over the for loop, but the for loop sets I to 1, and while I is less than 100, increment up by 1. So if I divided by 3 has a remainder of 0, and if I divided by 5 equals 0, the AND parameter pretty much means, not the AND parameter, the AND operator is just 2 AND signs, and it pretty much means that the code on the left and the code on the right both have to equate to true for the code to run. So if both of these values are 0, I being divided by 3 equals 0, and I being divided by 5 equals 0, we could console.log this, and the code is divisible by both, or not the code, but numbers divisible by both 3 and 5. But if not, if it only matches 1, if it's divisible by 5, and if it only matches the other one, it's divisible by 3, and for else, the console logs a number. So yeah, you may have found this a bit confusing, but I'll go into more detail about like what specific elements of like variables and functions and loops and other aspects of code in like another video. I kind of just wanted to give like a little brief introduction of it. But if you're not into this type of video, don't fret. I got a lot of stuff coming up today. I know that the Romero Izzy fight, I'm pretty sure I'm seeing that. I can make a video out of that. Ooh, tomorrow I got a Smash Ultimate tournament that's going down. I'll update you guys on the test for sure with what happens with my database test to see if I get certified in that. And I'll have some more coding videos coming your way, and some stuff with the guitar. So yeah, thanks for watching me talk for a bit, and enjoy your weekend.